When people think of Python, they think of simplicity, readable syntax, a huge community, and versatility that powers everything from AI to automation. But underneath that elegance lies something older: C. For decades, Python's performance ceiling has been tied to its C underpinnings. Especially in CPython, the default implementation that most of us use. That is changing quietly but profoundly because piece by piece, Rust is being woven into the broader Python ecosystem. Let's unpack how this happened and why Rust might be the most important thing to happen around Python in years. Back in the early 1990s, when Guido van Rossum created Python, C was the natural choice. It was portable, powerful, and well understood. The result, CPython, a success story that was stable, extensible, and relatively easy to maintain. But C had trade-offs: manual memory management, security pitfalls, and concurrency headaches. For years, developers tried to modernize Python's runtime. PyPy, Jython, IronPython, and others all took a shot, but none became the new standard. Then something new entered the picture: Rust. Rust emerged out of Mozilla research in the 2010s. It promised memory safety without garbage collection, fearless concurrency, and C-level performance. At first, it seemed irrelevant to Python, but over time, Pythonistas started asking, what if we could use Rust to fix the parts of Python's experience that C keeps holding back? Enter Pyo3 and RustPython. Pyo3 became the first big bridge, a library that lets Rust code call into Python and vice versa. It made it possible to write Python extensions in Rust with far less risk of memory leaks and segmentation faults. Suddenly, developers could take performance-critical code once written in C and rewrite it safely in Rust. Tools like Maturin and setup tools Rust followed, making Rust extensions feel like first-class citizens in Python. Then came RustPython, a full Python interpreter written in Rust. It is not a replacement for CPython today, but it is a glimpse of a modern, memory-safe future. RustPython can compile to WebAssembly to run in the browser. It can embed easily in apps. It can experiment without the constraints of legacy C code. Meanwhile, CPython itself remains a C and C++ code base. There is no wholesale rewrite of CPython internals in Rust. Instead, the action is happening around the edges. Third-party libraries and tools are adopting Rust to supercharge Python. You can see it in everyday packages. Pydantic v2 moved its validation core to Rust for speed and maintainability. OrJSON delivers blisteringly fast JSON handling with a Rust engine. Polars exposes a Python API on top of a Rust data frame engine. PICA cryptography incorporates Rust in parts of its implementation for safety and performance. Ruff and UV, two tools many Python developers now use daily, are Rust-powered and dramatically faster than older Python-only alternatives. A quick look at tooling. Rust is reshaping Python's day-to-day workflow through standalone tools. Ruff provides linting and formatting with near-instant startup. UV from Astral accelerates, installs, resolves dependencies, and manages virtual environments as a single fast binary. Maturin streamlines building and publishing Rust-backed Python extensions. These are not niche experiments. They integrate with Python standards like PEP, 517 build backends and wheels. They drop into existing projects without changing your code. The result is practical speed, faster CI pipelines, quicker feedback in editors, and fewer crashes from C-level mistake. Combined with libraries like Polars, OrJSON, and the Rust-powered core of Pydantic v2, the message is clear. Rust improves Python from the outside in. Developers feel the benefits even before CPython adopts larger internal changes. Now, about the GIL. Python's global interpreter, lock, or GIL, has long been a bottleneck. It prevents multiple threads from executing Python bytecode at once. The core team has been advancing a free-threaded build of CPython that disables the GIL. Starting in Python 3.13, this exists as an experimental option. The no-GIL work is implemented in CPython C and C++ code. In parallel, the Rust ecosystem is adapting. PyO3 and popular extensions are adding support for free-threaded Python so you can benefit from multi-core when it is ready for your workload. Security is another driver. Governments and industry are urging a shift toward memory-safe languages for critical software. Rust's guarantees help reduce classes of vulnerabilities that routinely appear in C. While Python is not the operating system kernel, it sits at the heart of data science and automation. Replacing performance-critical or security-sensitive C extensions with Rust reduces the attack surface, fewer buffer overflows, fewer use-after-free bugs, fewer late-night CVEs. This trend is bigger than Python. Browsers and runtimes are adopting Rust where it makes sense. Google's Chromium project now ships Rust components for memory-sensitive tasks. The Dino JavaScript runtime is built in Rust and binds to V8. In the Ruby world, Shopify's YJIT was ported from C to Rust to improve reliability and maintainability. The lesson carries over. Mix Rust in where safety and speed matter. Keep the language users' love on top. So what does this mean for you? First, Python gets faster, safer, and more scalable without you rewriting your code. Rust-powered modules run under the hood and make your experience better. It is like upgrading your car's engine while you are still driving it. Second, if you are a systems-minded Python developer, learning Rust is a career multiplier. You can write extensions, optimize libraries, or contribute to the tooling that the whole ecosystem uses. With PyO3 and Maturin, the path is accessible. Third, the old trade-off between simplicity and performance is fading. Python can stay Python. Rust can lend its superpowers where they count. It is striking to realize that the future of one of the world's most beloved languages is being strengthened by another. Rust is not replacing Python. It is rescuing it from some of its limits. From safety to speed, from concurrency to maintainability, this collaboration could define the next decade of open source evolution. So, the next time you import a Python module, remember, somewhere beneath those clean lines of code, a little bit of Rust might be hard at work. Thanks for watching. Do you think backing Python libraries with Rust is a bad idea? Is there a better language for it? Leave a comment below, and do not forget to like and subscribe for more techie talk from the Techy shop. If you like this video, watch this video here for more tech talk.